And
Well, my opinion of it all.
Go ahead.
This is my opinion of it all. I don't think he gets it. I really think he doesn't know that he's playing with danger.
No.
I don't think he gets it.
Corey Holcomb issues a stern warning to Andrew Schulz about his remarks regarding Kendrick Lamar. I tried to say something about it in my last video. You know, maybe Schulz doesn't want to hear from somebody like me. Maybe a comedian, a respected comedian, could actually get through to him. Let's hope so. As far as his tweets, he seems to have slowed down on Twitter with the insults and going back and forth with people, but you know, that only lasts so long. The ego is a very mysterious thing. I think Corey makes some real valid points as to why Andrew Schulz should stand down. It was crazy to do in the first place.
Somebody said, they said, what do you feel about Andrew Schulz?
Oh, I spoke up on that, man.
Did you?
Yeah, I spoke up on
What you had to say about it?
Look, first of all, I'm going to preface it by saying this. He's funny to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's funny. I respect the work, but the culture vulturism is something I don't agree with. I think he's speaking from a privileged position, and what he said about Kendrick is an example of buck breaking. You know, when you threaten a person's manhood to show authority, or disrespect him in front of his wife to show authority, that's a way to try to break somebody's kind of spirit, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was it was a poor aim at trying to assert dominance, you know what I mean? So I think Kendrick needs to be very careful if he responds, because in my opinion, comedians, we can go deeper than rappers when it comes to issues, you know what I mean? We can go a lot further than they can because their audience is trained different. A rapper's audience is trained to listen to them 3 minutes at a time, sometimes.
And I don't think Kendrick's really going to go in depth on dissing a comedian. I said this is a rare opportunity, a rare occurrence where a comedian and a rapper clash, but I don't think Kendrick really mentions Andrew Schulz again after seeing the result of this.
They listen to the albums, but good comedians, we get people's ear for a long period of time. So just be very careful, because what he said about Kendrick, attacking his manhood, even taking the position on his show, he said something that I thought was very dangerous. It's called a dog whistle in politics. It's when somebody uses coded language to galvanize a base, right? So in his response, he was like, to Kendrick, he was like, you know, and I'm preparing for my special for a week, so I'm not knowing what's going on. And when I finish my special and shoot it, all my black friends called me and they were like, hey, did you hear Kendrick is dissing you? You heard what Kendrick said? But all my white, Latino, and Asian friends called me like, congratulations on your special. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's coded because he
does that often.
That's already putting out the messaging, like, you know, it's one side against another side. You know what I mean? So that's one layer of it where I'm like, damn, that was slick. And then he's also speaking in a logical fallacy called an ad hominem, as well as a play. Is it play to authority? I forget which one it is. But instead of sticking to the issue, he's making it bigger. So he's just trying to choose, you know, everything else around the issue instead of dealing with the issue. And the issue.
That was that All Right Andy haircut. That was peak. He was talking about the shaved sides last week.
Into the issue, he's making it bigger. So he's just trying to choose, you know, everything else around the issue instead of dealing with the issue. And the issue is he thinks that Kendrick was talking to him, and Kendrick wasn't talking to him. He was talking to the black people around him. He was talking to
That's an important distinction. I kind of alluded to that in my video. He's not talking to the white comedian, so why are you taking offense to it? He's talking about the people that are around you that are allowing you to say this. They should be the ones that are checking you if they love you. You know what I'm saying? If Charlemagne and Alex Media and, you know, all these other people, shits and gigs, or whoever's around, why are they just giggling and letting you go off and be like, hey, you know, relax? You know, they should be some checking going on. But I wonder if that's too late. This has been going on for years. Brilliant Idiots in itself has been going on for probably 10 years almost, it seemed like. So is there any possibility, or has Schulz blown up too much that he can't listen to his friends, his black friends that could really speak to him logically?
Charlemagne, who I got respect for.
But
Charlemagne.
I think he knows what he's actually he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah,
He's trying to get the attention and viral to go
Right.
viral and all that. And
Well, my opinion of it all.
Go ahead.
This is my opinion of it all. I don't think he gets it. I really think he doesn't know that he's playing with danger.
No,
I don't think he gets it.
well, he's a white boy from New York.
These are all little. First of all, let me say this. I think he's funny.
Super funny.
I think he's funny. But I don't think, see, they're around black people that are going to egg them on.
Right.
They're not around black people that's going to be like, homie, cool out. Mother's not playing out here.
No, they
You
don't.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he was talking about how he felt it was too far when they had pictures of his and everything like that. If he had a friend like me, I would tell him, homie, do you want to leave out your front door and not be worried about
Right.
the mud streets? Cool out. I mean, you really have to stop.
Right.
Now you're doing this as a way to show I'm no punk. I
Right.
get it. But I don't think he understands the magnitude of how far it can go and how fast it can go bad.
Well,
Because this is the internet age, and there's a lot of people who don't know how to communicate with a guy like Schulz.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm the wizard, but I would tell him if he was somebody who I talk to all the time.
Chill out.
Right.
Chill out. Yeah, because
You know they not with you, right?
Man.
Now, if you keep going, that's on you. But these
And at this point, it's only the fans. It hasn't even gotten into Kendrick's inner circle. I just saw a tweet that TDE Punch was like, this dude just say what I think he said. Like, he didn't even do the math. He was like, I know he's a comedian, but is he crazy? Is he really crazy? All right, I guess he said that. Let me see if I can find that tweet. He said, wait, I know as a black man who's involved in hip hop music that we're a bit slow and don't really understand sarcasm and humor, but did my guy just say he wanted to sleep with Dot? It's a very nice way of saying, we're aware of what you're saying, sir. Cease and desist. Oh, and this is one other thing that came out for clarification. Schulz is now saying that the Brilliant Idiots podcast, where he was talking about the threats, was recorded before he responded to Kendrick. He wanted to say for clarification, these things happen for production purposes out of order sometimes, but he hasn't been tweeting about Kendrick since December 9th, and it is now the 11th. So I think something got through to him. I'm hoping, but either way.
not right. They don't want you playing with them in no way, especially when it comes to a guy like the brother Kendrick. He's got people that are loyal to him, and they don't want to see you joke like that.
And then, like, maybe you didn't actually see the pop out. Like, it's not just Kendrick's inner circle. Now the whole coast is kind of getting behind Kendrick. Why? Because the West Coast hasn't had mainstream artists go at the top mainstream artists for the crown in a battle in a while. So Kendrick is special in that regard. So you trying to talk about him, you might think it's going to gain you some type of clout. It's going to gain you some type of numbers for your new comedy special. But people are taking offense to that. And like I said, LA is a major tour destination at all times, so California in general, you know what I mean? So, I mean, shoot, New Jersey, whatever, like anywhere you go, there's a threat of, what did you say about dude? Like, I don't appreciate that. And then, like, you get into the deeper implications, and maybe this is where we can educate. People keep bringing up the term buck breaking, but I don't think people really understand exactly what that was when it was a control mechanism that was used during slavery. It says several enslaved men were forced to absent from their families, pregnant enslaved women and sons, so the buck breaking trauma would last for generations. Many of these enslaved men deleted themselves after the experience. So Corey's point is interesting too, because what other group in the world can you talk about like this? Just think about all the scrutiny we get as Black content creators, how many words we have to watch. We have to say unalive instead of the word. We have to say R word or grape instead of the real word. What other group could you talk about in that way that Andrew Schulz did? Because mind you, that video is still up on his channel. But because it was about Black men, somehow it's a joke, it's okay. And that's what I'm saying is Andrew Schulz, this is a real question. You spend a lot of time around Black people and you seem to enjoy their company. Are you a true, I hate to use the term ally, but it's so, because it's so overused, but are you a true ally to those Black people that you keep yourself around? Now, I know people are going to say, don't make it racial, but that is a distinction that you can say that freely without any strikes, without any terms of service violation on YouTube, and without any blocking of your content. Because believe it or not, a lot of our content gets suppressed for saying things that are far less egregious. So it makes you wonder, long story short, I believe you, at this point, to clear the air, probably should apologize to Kendrick for even putting that out there. As a man, it shouldn't take anything away from your manhood to actually admit fault and admit that you took things too far. So I'm not going to hold it over your head that you should. That's just a suggestion. And I would say it will probably be met with a lot less of, because I bet you there's people that conflicted right now. They're like, yo, I rocked with Andrew. Just like Corey and Craig were saying, they think you're funny. But being provocative for provocative's sake, especially when you've been existing within this culture of hip hop, whether you wanted to or not, your association with Charlemagne kind of puts you there, I think goes a long way. So either way, but you don't have to hear it. I'm just a dude on YouTube, you know. Trust me, I've been around for a while. That's it.
That. Now, if you're going to stay in your world and hide out, I guess you cool. Even though the streets said well. But what I'm saying, if you just, I'm going to hide out over here because I kept it going and I dared the streets. Okay, that's on you. But if he was my homeboy, I would tell Mr. Schulz, it ain't worth it, dog. Leave it alone.
And he taking it head on too. He's taking it like a challenge. Like he's coming from the perception of like, I made the album hot. Like
He's still cracking jokes.
Yeah, it's like,
you get what I'm saying, Craig?
Yeah.
He's not understanding. Listen, man, there's a whole nother world out there besides what you're talking about. From what I understand, the brother Schulz used to box.
Yeah, he got.
So he's probably no coward.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get it. It doesn't matter if you're a coward. You get what I'm saying, Craig?
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, I don't think Mr. Schulz understands you playing with people who already are aware they're being held down. So when you joke about it, it's not funny to them in a way where this is how the streets react. Yeah. This isn't how, like I seen, look, man, I saw two white guys get in a fight at this bar on Rush Street in Chicago. His homeboy grabbed him. John, stop. You're f***ing up. They put him in a cab. They said, go home, John. Just go home. That's a different way of doing things.
Right.
When mothers fight who from the mother streets, his people fight too and the other people fight too. That you can't understand. What Tretch say? If you ain't never been to the ghetto,
right.
Don't
Stay
make
out
it
the
Come to the
yeah.
ghetto.
Don't
Your
even
ass to the
don't
ghetto.
even come to the ghetto because you wouldn't understand the ghetto.
Oh, yeah.
So what do y'all think? Do y'all think Corey Holcomb would be able to get through to somebody like Andrew Schulz? I suggest you all go back and watch that episode, or Schulz, you go back and watch the episode and see what he said about it. Know what you're dealing with when you go into these internet beefs. You don't know what's on the other side of that computer screen. A lot of times you're not even talking to the same person. Like all the people that were giving threats to him, like I said in the last video, there should have never been a chance for your daughter to be threatened by one of these internet types. And like I said, it could just be some random internet chatter. It could be some trolls that want to get involved and say, oh, this will be good, this will go viral. But do you want to take that risk? You know, like, that's all I would say. And like I said, I don't want to see Schultz family or Schultz or anything happen to them. You know, freedom of speech. This is the price of freedom of speech that comedians often refer to as being stripped of them. You can say what you want, but there's no freedom from consequences. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. That way you can stay up to date on all things Faucette Media. This is Faucette Media.